Professor Kudratullah. The very name resonated with an air of authority within the hallowed halls of the university, a scholar of remarkable intellect, a man of power and influence. Students revered him, colleagues envied him, but beneath this veneer of respectability lurked a heart shrouded in darkness, a heart consumed by ambition and a thirst for power no matter the cost.
I craved control. I ruthlessly climbed the academic ladder, leaving a trail of broken promises and bitter rivals in my wake.
His charm was a mask, it concealed his ruthless nature. His words, though eloquent, often dripped with a subtle venom that poisoned the careers of those who dared to oppose him. He was a master puppeteer. The strings of the academic world danced to his tune. He believed himself untouchable, an architect of his own destiny. He reveled in the fear he instilled in others. It was a testament to his power. He was blind to the storm clouds gathering on the horizon, the storm that would soon shatter his carefully constructed world. He was blind to the truth that echoed through the ages. Justice, like the dawn, inevitably follows the darkest of nights. Kashif was a bright spark in the academic landscape, a young man of exceptional intelligence and integrity. He possessed an unquenchable thirst for knowledge and an unwavering moral compass. His dedication to his studies was remarkable. He spent countless hours poring over books, his mind a sponge absorbing every bit of information. He saw in Professor Kudratullah a mentor, a guide on his academic journey. He was unaware of the darkness that festered beneath the surface.
I saw Professor Kudratullah as a mentor, someone who could guide me on my academic journey.
Kashif's brilliance did not go unnoticed by Kudratullah. It ignited a spark of envy in his heart, a threat to his carefully constructed facade of intellectual superiority. Kudratullah saw Kashif's potential not as something to nurture but as a challenge, an obstacle to his dominance. He resolved to undermine him. He employed subtle tactics at first, dismissive comments, public humiliations disguised as constructive criticism. But as Kashif continued to shine, Kudratullah's tactics grew more malicious.
The most egregious act of Kudratullah's tyranny was the blatant manipulation of my grades. I poured my heart and soul into a research paper. It was a masterpiece of critical thinking and groundbreaking analysis, a testament to my academic prowess.
Kudratullah, consumed by envy, awarded him a failing grade. It was a blatant and unjust act, designed to crush Kashif's spirit and derail his promising future. It was a seed of injustice sown, one that would bear bitter fruit in the years to come. Word of Kashif's unfair treatment spread through the university like wildfire. Whispers of Kudratullah's tyranny, long suppressed by fear, began to surface. Students, emboldened by Kashif's plight, started to share their own stories of Kudratullah's manipulations and abuse of power. The whispers grew louder, transforming into a chorus of dissent that echoed through the corridors. The university, once a safe haven for learning and intellectual pursuit, became a battleground.
On one side stood Kudratullah, his power eroding with each accusation leveled against him. On the other side stood a growing number of students and faculty, tired of his reign of terror, demanding justice. The air crackled with tension.
Kudratullah, a master manipulator, initially dismissed the accusations as baseless rumors spread by disgruntled students. He used his influence to silence dissent and discredit his accusers. He painted himself as the victim, a man targeted for his brilliance, his dedication to academic excellence. But the truth, like a persistent stain, refused to be erased. The weight of his lies and deceit began to crush him from within. The walls of his carefully constructed world were closing in. And so the walls closed in on Professor Kudratullah. His once unassailable fortress of influence and power began to crumble. The students' voices, once silenced by fear, now roared with the demand for justice. The university, once his kingdom, turned against him. The truth, long hidden in the shadows, emerged into the light, and with it, the inevitable fall of a man who believed himself untouchable. Justice, like the dawn, had finally arrived.
I never imagined our life would come to this. All those years of support, and now it's all crumbling down.
In the shadow of Kudratula's actions, his family bears the weight of his choices. His wife, once a pillar of strength, now faces her own battles alone.
It's not just the chemotherapy, you know. It's the whispers, the judgment from everyone around us. How do we rebuild from this?
The consequences of one's actions often ripple through the lives of those closest to them. For Kudratula's wife, the struggle is not just physical, but deeply emotional.
I thought I knew him. I thought we had a future. But now, everything feels uncertain.
As she grapples with her new reality, the question remains, can they find a way to heal and move forward, or will the past forever haunt their future?
I never thought it would come to this. Everything I built, crumbling down.
Karma, as they say, has a way of catching up. Professor Kudratula, once revered, now faces the consequences of his actions.
We must learn from the past, from our predecessors' mistakes. Integrity in teaching is paramount.
The younger professor, inspired by the lessons of history, vows to uphold the values of truth and justice in his own career.
I seek forgiveness, though I know it may never be granted. My actions were inexcusable.
In a moment of reflection, Professor Kudratula acknowledges his wrongdoings, hoping to find some semblance of redemption.
Let us build a future where honesty and respect are the cornerstones of education.
With a renewed sense of purpose, the younger professor aims to create a legacy rooted in truth, ensuring the mistakes of the past are not repeated.